Have you ever felt that urge to just declutter your entire life?
Hmm.
I mean, not just your physical space, like, the closet that's overflowing or maybe the attic you haven't looked at in years, but something much deeper.
Yeah, I think we all feel that sometime.
Yeah.
That sense of being weighed down.
Exactly. Like weighed down by invisible burdens, old stories we tell ourselves, anxieties we don't talk about, maybe roles we've kind of outgrown but still hang on to.
It's a subtle thing, often, but definitely pervasive. A kind of internal clutter.
Yeah. A profound yearning for just a lighter way of being,
Yeah.
right? Like more unencumbered existence.
It absolutely is. And what you're describing there, that subtle but pervasive sense of being bogged down, it's pretty universal, I think, a common human experience.
Seems like it.
And we often struggle, don't we, to even articulate what's really weighing us down, because it's not always something you can, point to.
Right. It's not tangible.
It's that accumulated weight of expectations, maybe the echoes of the past, fears about the future, all that stuff. So this deep dive today, it actually offers a really remarkable lens to look at that exact longing
Oh, okay.
and maybe find a pathway towards, well, true liberation.
That sounds promising. So, yeah, today we're diving into something genuinely profound, I think, but also incredibly practical. It's a commentary, a really powerful one, on a short but incredibly potent poem.
Okay.
It's called Deslidate para vestirte. That translates roughly to Undress to Dress Yourself, and it's by Oscar Muñoz.
Interesting title.
Isn't it? And look, this is just literary analysis, not at all. Our source material today, it's this PDF called Commentario Poema 1, and it takes each line of this short verse and just meticulously unpacks it.
Right.
It reveals all these layers of meaning that are deeply rooted in various mystical traditions. We're talking Sufism, Zen Buddhism, ancient wisdom.
Wow, quite a blend.
It's a fascinating mix, and it makes these like age-old insights feel incredibly relevant to, well, the complexities of modern life.
And what's fascinating here, I think, is how this commentary doesn't just dissect the poem like an academic exercise. It really serves as a kind of expert guide to an existential journey.
Okay, a guide.
Yeah, it helps us understand not just the surface meaning, but how deeply its message resonates with those universal human experiences we were just talking about, seeking meaning, seeking liberation, finding a real sense of purpose. It's almost like a roadmap for personal transformation, distilled from centuries of human wisdom.
Okay, right. Let's unpack this then. Our mission today, let's say, is to distill the core wisdom from this beautiful, really layered commentary, sort of offering you, the listener, a shortcut to understanding how these poetic lines can maybe guide you on your own life's journey.
Makes sense.
It's about helping you see how shedding the non-essential, and we mean not just material things, but that mental and emotional baggage too, how that can lead to a richer, more meaningful existence, how it can help you truly flourish.
A worthy goal.
So let's begin our deep dive with the very first line of Oscar Muñoz's poem.
Lleva solo las cosas esenciales. Carry only the essential things.
Exactly. Now, on the surface, that sounds, well, it sounds pretty direct, doesn't it? Almost like a strict command.
It does have that feel initially, like someone's telling you what you must do.
Yeah, but the commentary jumps on that straight away. It clarifies that it's actually much more nuanced, much more profound than just a simple order.
And you've hit on a really crucial distinction there. This raises an important question, doesn't it? Why is that subtle difference between a command and something else so vital for genuine personal transformation?
Good question.
Well, the source material is quite clear. This isn't an imperative, not a demand for immediate compliance. Instead, it's framed as a profound recommendation.
Ah, recommendation. Okay.
Think of it more like an invitation, maybe a gentle but powerful suggestion. It's extended to anyone on their life's journey, whether you're just starting out or maybe you're deep into the path and feeling, burdened by too much weight.
Right.
And true lasting change, as so many spiritual traditions tell us, it rarely comes from just following external rules, does it?
Not usually, no.
It flourishes when it arises from within. From an internal wisdom that responds to an invitation rather than just, obeying an obligation out of duty. A recommendation empowers you to reflect, to choose, and to really own your path.
That's a really powerful reframing. So it's not some strict rule that makes you feel guilty if you don't follow it perfectly.
Exactly.
It's more like a gentle nudge, a quiet whisper that encourages you to pause, maybe look inward and genuinely ask yourself, okay, what am I carrying right now? My physical life, sure, but also in my mind, in my heart. And do I truly need all of it for where I'm going?
Precisely. This opening line, lleva solo las cosas esenciales, it ignites within us not a sense of duty, but a powerful intention, a desire maybe to radically simplify our lives.
An intention.
And think about the context of our modern world, right? It's so saturated with stuff, objects, endless fleeting desires, these superfluous worries that are constantly grabbing for our attention. This line challenges that whole consumerist mindset head on. It urges us to actively discern between what is truly necessary for our growth, for our well-being, and what is merely contingent.
Contingent meaning?
Meaning dependent on external circumstances, fleeting, ultimately non-essential. And this discernment, it isn't just about physical possessions, though it certainly includes them.
Right.
Crucially, the commentary emphasizes this self-inquiry extends deep into the matters of the soul, into our internal landscape, our beliefs, our emotional attachments. It's a call to profound self-awareness, really.
So when the poem says essential things, it's definitely not talking about like your car keys or your phone.
No, not at all.
It's something far more profound, more intangible. And the commentary actually lists them explicitly, which is fascinating because they're all qualities, not items.
Well, what is this?
It talks about serenity, generosity, breadth of vision, which I take to mean having this expansive, open-minded outlook on life.
Ah, yes. Amplitud de miras.
Exactly. Then innocence, joy, courage, and a deep love for beauty. These are presented as the true essential things.
You're right, they are presented that way. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, these qualities aren't just, nice virtues to have. They're presented as the fundamental building blocks of a conscious and liberated existence.
The building blocks.
Okay. Dharma, in this context, as the commentary explores it, isn't necessarily some rigid religious doctrine or a fixed set of moral laws. It refers more to universal principles for, let's say, righteous living and for overall well-being.
Universal principles.
Yeah. And these qualities, serenity, generosity, courage, they're considered essential for a fulfilling life because they're intrinsically valuable. They're the bedrock upon which authentic living is built. Unlike, say, external possessions or achievements, which are always contingent.
Meaning temporary.
Temporary, dependent on circumstances, ultimately fleeting. They stand in pretty stark contrast to what our society often deems important, right? Society often values material wealth, external status, fleeting pleasures over these profound, enduring inner qualities.
That's true.
So it's an invitation, really, to shift our entire value system.
That makes so much sense. And then the poem uses this wonderful, really evocative analogy. Life is conceived as a journey.
The journey metaphor.
And the weight of the unnecessary becomes a burden that prevents progress. The commentary states it really clearly. Lightness is the fundamental condition for freedom.
A powerful statement.
And this isn't just about physical weight, obviously. It's about shedding the mental baggage, right? The emotional burdens, the roles we play, those old habits and ingrained patterns that silently hold us back without us even realizing it half the time.
Indeed. And what's fascinating here is how the poem, or at least the commentary on it, precisely identifies the true shackles we carry. It suggests they're not external forces or circumstances primarily, but internal constructs.
Internal construct.
Yeah. This lightness, the commentary specifies, is with respect to masks or mental constructions, inertias, and unconscious mechanisms. These are the invisible weights we carry through life.
Masks, mental constructions, inertias.
Which raises an important question, doesn't it? How do we even begin to identify these subtle yet incredibly powerful unconscious mechanisms and masks that we've accumulated over a lifetime?
That's a tricky part.
Exactly. Think about the masks we wear, maybe trying to fit into a certain social group, pretending to be strong when we feel incredibly vulnerable inside, or adopting personas that aren't truly ours. Perhaps they're inherited from family expectations or societal pressures.
I can relate to that.
And mental constructions, these could be limiting beliefs we've held since childhood, maybe rigid expectations about how life should unfold, or these ingrained narratives about ourselves that dictate our responses without us even realizing it.
Yeah.
These are the burdens, the commentary suggests, that truly impede our progress on our journey towards authenticity and freedom. They're the invisible chains that keep us from truly soaring.
It's a powerful idea. It's not just about what you own. It's about what owns you, in a way.
Well put.
And the commentary delves even deeper into this idea of the essential being always present. It posits that when this essential truth belongs to the world of form, it's immutable. It underlies the transience of the sensible world. It sounds like an exhortation to seek truth and beauty in their purest form by stripping ourselves of unnecessary baggage, like a call to purify our perception.
Precisely. That points towards the concept of an unchanging, fundamental essence that exists beneath our constantly shifting sensory reality. The commentary uses a beautiful, very relatable metaphor here.
Oh yeah? What's that?
It says, the child takes their toys on a trip. You take the toys that are essential for the game that is the path itself. These toys are never objects.
Ah, I like that. Essential toys, but never objects.
Exactly. This isn't about becoming austere or depriving oneself. Rather, these essential toys are the intrinsic tools of being. The inner qualities like, say, curiosity, resilience, compassion that genuinely facilitate the mystical journey of life. They are not distractions. They are what allow us to truly play the game of life with joy and purpose. The commentary suggests that the space for this journey unveils itself only when the fundamental structure of existence emerges spontaneously from the multiplicity of its manifestations.
Okay, unpack that a bit.
It means seeing beyond the surface-level reality, beyond all the changing forms, to the underlying unified truth that connects everything.
This image of essential toys for the journey is really beautiful. It really underscores that this path isn't about rigid asceticism or, giving up everything just for the sake of deprivation.
Not at all.
It's about what genuinely fuels your play on the path, what truly empowers your authentic self to engage with life fully. And the commentary takes this idea of shedding even further, doesn't it? It states that from a certain moment in our lives, the person is unnecessary baggage.
That's a bold statement.
It is. And it goes on to say that our belief in our social masks must be left behind. This feels like a really radical call.
It is a profound and, yes, radical call for dispossession on the journey of self-knowledge. But crucially, the commentary clarifies a vital distinction here. This dispossession is not a renunciation because all renunciation is of the ego.
Ah, okay, not renunciation.
But a desire for light, a desire for the I am, the final desire.
The final desire.
Now, this raises an important question. What's the fundamental difference between an ego-driven renunciation and this deep, authentic desire for light, or the I am? While an ego-driven renunciation often comes from a place of control, maybe self-deprivation, or even a subtle feeling of spiritual superiority. It's about denying oneself something, often with this undercurrent of judgment.
Right, like forcing yourself.
Exactly. But the desire for light, or the I am, that's about expansion. It's about a profound longing for authentic self-realization, for union with a deeper universal truth. It speaks to the motivation behind the action. One is about contraction, trying to control experience, while the other is about profound liberation, about aligning with one's true nature and expanding into the vastness of being.
So it's moving from giving something up because you feel you have to receiving something far greater because you genuinely desire it. It's a stripping away to reveal rather than a self-denial.
Precisely. It's not about giving things up because you think you should or because it makes you look spiritual or fulfill some external expectation. It's about genuinely desiring something far more profound, something that truly illuminates your path and brings you closer to your most authentic self.
Okay, that clarifies that first line significantly. Moving on now to the second line of the poem, which takes us into the realm of memory and the past. Si traes nostalgia, no cargues con su pena.
If you bear nostalgia, do not carry its pain.
Right. This line immediately introduces these themes of memory and the past, and it delves into nostalgia not just as a simple longing, but as a really complex emotion, deeply intertwined with our very identity.
And what's fascinating here is the call for a very nuanced discernment. The commentary unpacks the etymology of nostalgia itself, noting it means pain for the return, combining nostos, return, and algos, pain.
Pain for the return. Makes sense.
And while nostalgia can indeed be a source of deep consolation, offering comfort in remembering cherished moments, it can also become a heavy chain that ties us to the past, preventing us from fully inhabiting the present.
Sure, getting stuck in the past.
Exactly. The verse isn't demanding we abandon our memories entirely. That would be impossible, maybe even undesirable. Rather, it asks us to separate the pain or sorrow that so often accompanies them.
Separate the pain from the memory itself.
Yes. It's about distinguishing an enriching memory, one that informs and empowers us, from a repetitive and destructive inertia, which the poem describes as spiral pain that reaffirms a suffering and lost ego.
Zero pain.
Consider how easily nostalgia, when it crystallizes into this kind of inertia, can anchor us to a past representation of ourselves or our experiences, a representation that often took fleeting moments of pleasure or pain as real but ultimately meaningless forces. We see this often in life, don't we? People can get stuck endlessly reliving past hurts or even past glories to the point where it prevents them from living fully and dynamically in the present moment. They're constantly comparing now to some bygone era.
That's a powerful distinction, isn't it? To separate the memory itself from the pain attached to it. It's like, remember the good times, maybe learn from the tough times, but don't keep re-feeling the regret or the sense of loss over and over.
Precisely.
And the poem invites us to actively transform that nostalgia from a burden into a source of gratitude, encouraging us to see memories not as losses, but as experiences of a navigator and as forms of love and beauty.
Indeed. The commentary offers a truly beautiful and profound image to illustrate this transmutation. Are you ready for this one?
Lay it on me.
Nostalgia without pain is the cup in which we drink a strong wine of ambrosia and poison, transforming in our throat, like Nilkanth, opposing intensities into Ananda.
Wow. Okay, let's break that down. Ambrosia and poison, transforming into Ananda.
Right. So Ananda, for those unfamiliar, is a Sanskrit term referring to profound bliss or joy, often associated with spiritual realization and enlightened state of being, pure bliss.
Okay, got it.
And the reference to Nilkanth, that's to the Hindu deity Shiva. According to a powerful myth, Shiva drank a deadly poison that emerged from the churning of the ocean, a poison that threatened to destroy the world. He held it in his throat, which turned blue, hence Nilkanth, blue-throated.
Ah, okay. So he contained the poison.
He didn't just contain it, he neutralized its destructive power, saving creation. It's a profound metaphor for internal alchemy, not just enduring pain, but consciously integrating it, transforming it within yourself.
So it's not about denying the poison of negative experiences or pushing them away.
Exactly. It's about consciously consuming them, allowing them to pass through you so they no longer harm you. Instead, they become a catalyst for profound wisdom and ultimately, Ananda, that pure, unadulterated bliss that transcends mere happiness or fleeting pleasure. The commentary says we leave the pain without rejecting it, without fleeing from it, but with gratitude for having found an ingredient that deepens the taste of memory and alchemically transmutes what has been lived into a greater breadth of the trikala of life.
Trikala.
Trikala refers to the three times, past, present, and future, suggesting a holistic, unified view of time where all experiences, even the painful ones, are integrated into a larger tapestry of meaning and contribute to a richer understanding of life.
That image of turning poison into bliss, it really is a powerful metaphor for alchemy, isn't it? Taking something heavy, something potentially destructive, and through a conscious process, transforming it into something uplifting, something genuinely meaningful, maybe even sacred.
It's a radical act of acceptance and transmutation.
And then the commentary takes it even further, doesn't it? It connects nostalgia to a very specific mystical concept that expands its meaning way beyond just personal memory.
Yes, it does. The commentary suggests that nostalgia, when freed from its burden of pain, can be understood as a manifestation of ishq.
Ishku.
Ishq is a central concept in Sufism, referring to passionate divine love. Now, this raises an important question for us. How can a feeling of missing the past, which often feels so personal and, well, temporal, be linked to something as vast and timeless as divine love?
Yeah, how does that work?
Well, ishq is not a worldly, fleeting love, the kind we might feel for people or possessions. It's described as a profound, all-consuming force that drives the seeker, the spiritual traveler, to return to their origin, to a state of union with the absolute, with the divine.
Okay.
In this context, nostalgia transmutes its heaviness into a wing, an impetus for the journey towards the eternal.
Well, nostalgia becomes a wing.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, by freeing nostalgia from its pain, memory itself becomes a mirror of the invisible. It's no longer just a lament for personal loss. It transforms into the yearning for the return to the source. A love so passionate, so profound that it doesn't allow the soul to rest comfortably in ephemeral, temporary forms.
So this isn't just about missing, say, your childhood home or a past relationship. It's tapping into a much deeper, soulful yearning for something much bigger than yourself. A longing for home, in a cosmic or spiritual sense.
That's the interpretation offered. It's seen as a fundamental drive of the soul.
That's quite a perspective.
The commentary describes this as the deep pulse of the soul for reunion with that home from which it was exiled by its own will.
Exiled by its own will.
Yes, so that you could be the world and yourself. It's depicted as an echo of that primordial vision, a reminder of paradise lost, which, when integrated without pain and understood through the lens of Ish, becomes the driving force for return and encounter.
So it reframes human existence itself as a deliberate, self-imposed separation from unity.
Kind of like an exile, yes. For the very purpose of gaining experience, exploring multiplicity, and then eventually seeking a conscious reunion with the Absolute. It's a profound reframing of our deepest longings, our nostalgia.
That's a truly expansive view of human existence and the role our emotions play within it. Okay, so from shedding unnecessary baggage and transforming our painful past, we now move to the third line of the poem. El sol exige desnuda la plegaria.
The sun demands naked prayer.
It's a striking image, isn't it? Very powerful. It feels like a demand, not just for honesty, but for, well, radical purity and total sincerity, as the commentary puts it.
And what's fascinating here is that absolute emphasis on authenticity. The commentary declares quite unequivocally that one cannot access the Numen, which means the divine essence, the ultimate reality, with artifices, pretensions, or masks.
No faking it.
No faking it. This resonates deeply with mystical traditions all over the world. In Sufism, for instance, the seeker must strip themselves of the small self, the egoic self. But, and this is crucial, not through mere repression or self-denial.
Okay, how then?
Instead, it's through understanding and transformation. It's about integrating the shadow aspects of the ego, not trying to eradicate them, so they become a means for the experience of life. They start serving the larger self rather than dominating it. It's really a call to transparency at the deepest level of our being.
It feels like the universe or the divine, or whatever you want to call it, demands you show up as your authentic self. No facades allowed, no hiding behind what you think you should be or what you want others to see. It's a very direct, unyielding challenge to our usual conditioned ways of being.
It absolutely is, and we see echoes of this concept across so many wisdom traditions. Mevlana Rumi, the great Sufi poet, he frequently speaks of the need to bear oneself before the beloved, to offer a pure heart without the veils of worldly illusion.
Bear oneself before the beloved.
And this concept is strikingly similar, the commentary points out, to the beginner's mind, or Shoshin, in Zen Buddhism.
Shoshin, right.
It's about approaching each experience without preconceived ideas, with an openness and humility that resemble the naked prayer. This beginner's mind is described as the primordial mind of the child, what Sufis refer to as fitra.
Fitra.
Fitra, the pure, unconditioned state of human nature, before all the societal imprints and conditioning set in.
So it's about coming to every moment, every interaction, every challenge with a fresh, unburdened perspective, like a child seeing things for the very first time without all the layers of conditioning, judgment, or expectation that we tend to pile on as adults.
That's the ideal, yes.
It sounds incredibly liberating, but also, well, for us as adults, incredibly difficult to achieve in a sustained way, surely.
It absolutely is difficult, and this raises an important question. How difficult is it in our highly conditioned adult lives to cultivate and sustain this beginner's mind, or fitra? The commentary uses powerful imagery here. The sun, in its immense and dazzling purity, cannot be approached with shadows. Light demands light.
Light demands light.
The sun here symbolizes pure truth, divine light, absolute purity, ultimate consciousness. And shadows, by contrast, represent the ego, illusion, lack of authenticity, all the things we use, consciously or unconsciously, to obscure our true nature.
Okay.
So to truly approach truth, to genuinely connect with that inner divine essence, the implication is that we must embody its qualities. It requires a conscious, sustained effort to dismantle the layers of preconceived notions, societal programming, deeply ingrained habits, and personal biases that we've built up over years and years.
It's like a profound deconstruction of the conditioned self.
Exactly, to reveal the authentic self hidden beneath.
And for me, maybe the most impactful part of this whole section is the idea that the naked prayer is ultimately an act of radical vulnerability. This powerfully flips the script on what we often think of as strength in our society, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's not about building impenetrable walls or putting on a brave face for the world, but about being brave enough to actually let those walls down, to reveal our true selves, flaws and all.
This is truly the essence of genuine self-acceptance, and it's presented as a cornerstone of spiritual growth. In a world where strength is often confused with invulnerability, where we're taught to hide our weaknesses and present this perfect exterior, the poem suggests something quite different.
Yeah.
That true strength resides in the capacity to be authentic and vulnerable. Confessing our imperfections, acknowledging our fears, revealing our deepest desires, and not necessarily to an external deity or even another person, but profoundly to our own consciousness is highlighted as a transformative act of courage.
To our own consciousness.
Yes, it is, in fact, presented as the basis of any true process of healing and growth. The ability to look honestly at oneself, to embrace one's own humanity, without judgment or self-condemnation. That's the prerequisite for any profound internal shift.
It makes sense.
It truly provides the foundation for inner healing because you're no longer fighting against yourself or pretending to be something you're not. You are simply being fully and honestly.
Okay, so after all this stripping away, this intense self-reflection, this deep purification of our inner landscape, we finally arrive at the final, incredibly evocative line of the poem. Viste tus galas, camina eternidades.
Dress your finery, walk eternities.
Right. Now, at first glance, this seems to completely contradict everything we've just discussed, doesn't it? Like, why are we suddenly dressing up again after all that undressing and stripping away of masks?
But that's where it gets really interesting. And the commentary provides a profound resolution to that apparent contradiction. You're right, the galas, the finery, they are not vain masks, nor the superficial adornments of the person.
Okay, so not putting the masks back on.
Definitely not. This isn't about putting on a costume or reverting to the old disguises of the ego. Instead, these galas are described beautifully as the fruits of the first three lines.
The results.
Exactly. The lightness of the essential, the wisdom of a nostalgia without pain, and the purity of a sincere prayer. These are not external decorations. They are the luminous qualities that have emerged from the whole process of dispossession and purification.
I see it.
They are, in essence, the vestments of Dharma, those universal principles of righteous living and inner truth we spoke about earlier, but now fully embodied.
Embodied, right.
So the poem isn't asking us to disguise ourselves again, but to celebrate our true nature, the one that has emerged after the dispossession. The very phrase, denudare para vestirte, undress to dress yourself, implies a specific, crucial order.
An order.
Yes. The commentary warns, if you put Dharma on your masks, you will make a horrendous grimace of beauty. First, you must be naked and vulnerable, allowing the inauthentic to fall away so that Dharma fits our forms and its texture adjusts with full harmony.
That makes perfect sense. You can't put the truth on top of a lie.
Precisely. It's about fully embodying what you've become through the shedding process, expressing your authentic, purified self, radiating your inner essence outwards.
So it's not about putting on a costume, but about fully inhabiting what you've become through that shedding process. It's the essence that has emerged from within, now beautifully expressed and integrated into your being. Okay, and then the second part of that line, camina eternidades, walk eternities. What does that mean for our life's journey, which we typically perceive as finite, bound by linear time?
Well, the imperative camina, walk, gracefully loops back and sort of recapitulates the meaning of liveva, Carrie, from the very first line. It explicitly reveals the full, profound sense of the poem's melody by placing the action, our human action, in its natural realm, eternities.
Our natural realm is the eternity.
That's the implication. The commentary states, quite simply, there is no other journey. When we walk with the galas of our essence, that is, when we move through life embodying these purified qualities we've uncovered, then every step is significant, every moment is full, and time, as we know it, dissolves into a deeper current.
Time dissolves.
Oh. Now, this raises an important question for our own experience, doesn't it? How can we begin to experience this dissolution of conventional time? It speaks to a state of profound flow, maybe, of deep presence, where the artificial boundaries we construct between past, present, and future begin to fade into a unified, eternal now. It's like every breath, every action, every interaction becomes infused with a deeper meaning, stretching beyond the ticking clock, becoming infinite in its significance. It's living with a timeless awareness.
That's a truly beautiful and, frankly, liberating way to think about time and our place within it. And the commentary then goes on to lay out 4 distinct philosophical perspectives on what it actually means to walk eternities. Each one offers a profound lens through which to view existence.
Yes, 4 ways.
The first one is described as making a cyclical journey, where time is the wheel of samsara.
Yes, the great wheel. This is a central concept in many Eastern traditions, of course. But from the perspective of the Shahid, the witness, the commentary calls him someone who already wears their galas, meaning they've undergone the transformation we've been discussing.
Okay, the transformed self.
For them, this repetition, this cycle, is not a condemnation, but a process of infinite ecstasy.
Infinite ecstasy. In repetition.
Think about that for a moment. Seeing repetition not as a trap or drudgery, but as a source of joy. Each cycle, each apparent re-experiencing of themes or challenges in life is understood as an act of Leela, divine play.
Leela, okay.
It's seen as a work of art to show the beauty of stripping away essential things in the pain of nostalgia. The Shahid, the witness, observes the cycles of the world, the eras of errors that roll and repeat with a serenity that ignores sadness.
Serenity that ignored sadness.
Yes, recognizing each new cycle as an opportunity to advance deeper in the path of Ish, that divine love we talked about. Repetition, for the Shahid, transforms into a kind of ritual of detachment. It allows the traveler to learn not to cling to temporary manifestations, whether they are of joy or sorrow.
So they learn detachment through the repetition.
The Shahid goes beyond the cycle, observing it from outside of time, viewing life's repetitions with profound wisdom and equanimity rather than weariness or frustration.
So it's not about being stuck in a loop, but seeing the beauty in the lesson in every return and being able to step back and just watch it all unfold with understanding and detachment.
Exactly. That's the cyclical perspective.
Fascinating. Okay, so the second way to walk eternities is presented as making a linear journey, where time is an arrow that moves from past to future. How does the Shahid, the transformed witness, experience this seemingly more conventional progression of time?
Well, for the traveler witness, this linear progression is not a meaningless progression, but a path of evanescent love.
Evanescent love.
Yeah.
Fleeting.
Fleeting, yes, but profoundly meaningful. The commentary emphasizes that for someone in this state of awareness, every present moment is a last opportunity for the naked prayer, for a final and unique manifestation of truth.
Every moment is the last opportunity.
Yes. This means each fleeting instant is treated with the utmost reverence and full presence. The Shahid does not live in the past or the future, but in the immense density of the now.
The immense density of the now. I like that phrase.
Isn't it powerful? Their linear journey is a process of unveiling eternity in the ephemeral. In this line of understanding, the Shahid lives each instant as a portal to the divine, recognizing that the fullness of being is not some future destination to be attained, but a perfection that manifests in every fleeting step.
Right here, right now.
Exactly. What's fascinating here is that profound emphasis on cultivating an absolute, unshakable presence. And this raises an important question for us in our own lives, doesn't it? How can we possibly cultivate this immense density of the now in our daily existence, where we are constantly pulled between past regrets and future anxieties, often completely missing the very moment we are actually living?
It's the million-dollar question.
It really is. It points towards a deep practice of mindfulness, conscious engagement, and a radical acceptance of what is right here, right now.
Okay. And then there's the third way, making a divergent journey, walking through a garden of branching paths. This is where each choice or present moment branches into multiple realities, creating parallel universes. Now, this is truly mind-bending stuff. It shifts our whole understanding of choice and consequence.
It absolutely is mind-bending, but from the perspective of the Shahid, this divergence is not a fragmentation of reality, but the manifestation of a single and same source in an infinity of forms.
Okay. So it's not chaos, it's diverse expression of the one.
Precisely. The commentary suggests that the traveler witness, having seen the unity behind all these diverse manifestations, understands that all branches of the temporal tree are supported by the same root.
Same root?
Yes. This means that even in the face of countless choices and potential outcomes, there is an underlying, unchanging truth that binds them all together. The galas of the poem, those vestments of Dharma in this context, are the consciousness of that unity.
The awareness of unity is the finery.
Exactly. The Shahid wears their galas, this consciousness of unity, and walks through divergent eternities with the certainty that no matter which path they take, the underlying truth remains. The multiplicity of realities, far from being confusing or chaotic, doesn't hide the uniqueness of the sacred, but rather reveals it in its infinite creative capacity.
So it's like seeing the same fundamental truth woven through every possible outcome and every choice, recognizing the underlying oneness in all the apparent diversity and embracing the infinite potential of existence without losing sight of the source.
That's a great way to put it. Yes.
Yeah. That truly is a powerful and expansive way to look at reality, seeing unity in all the branching paths, recognizing the divine in every potential outcome. Okay. And finally, the fourth way, which is perhaps the most profound and certainly for our conventional minds, the most challenging to grasp. Knowing the journey non-existent.
This is indeed the most radical perspective offered. It moves beyond even the idea of a separate self, a linear progression, or even a journey itself. The commentary states a profound, almost paradoxical truth here. All identities, all journeys are the dream of the eternal and immutable.
The dream.
In this ultimate understanding, the distinctions we cling to so tightly, there is no shaheed, no nostalgia, no path, they simply dissolve. It completely challenges our fundamental assumptions about existence itself, about individuality, about purpose.
It sounds like non-duality.
Very much so. In this state, the commentary suggests only an infinite ananda, an infinite bliss, sounds like a distant echo spontaneously pointing towards a deeper mystery. It speaks to a non-dual reality where all is unity, where individual experience, with all its apparent struggles and transformations, is ultimately just a manifestation, a ripple, in a greater incomprehensible dream of the divine.
So it's a step beyond even witnessing the journey.
Yes, beyond journeying itself into simply being the unity, where all effort, all destination collapses into a singular, timeless perfection. It's the ultimate letting go.
Wow, okay. This commentary truly takes us on a profound philosophical and spiritual ride, doesn't it? From practical advice on shedding baggage to these incredibly deep views of time and reality.
It certainly covers a lot of ground.
So to try and bring it all together, this poem, Desnudate para Vestirte, and its incredibly rich commentary, they really serve as a meticulously detailed guide for an existential journey, outlining a clear path for profound transformation and self-realization.
Indeed. It proposes a series of interconnected stages for the seeker, doesn't it? Each building upon the last, guiding us deeper and deeper into our true nature. First, there's the dispossession of the unnecessary, which we explored in that first line. Lleva solo las cosas esenciales.
Right, the shedding.
This stage is all about shedding everything that weighs us down, both materially and crucially, internally, the masks, the limiting beliefs, all that accumulated baggage.
Then second comes the healing of the past through ishq, which was beautifully captured in Si traes nostalgia no cargues con su pena.
Transforming the pain.
Yeah, this isn't about forgetting, but about actively alchemizing past pain into profound gratitude and an impetus for that divine love, ishq, transforming what was heavy into a wing that actually propels us forward.
And third, the purification of the spirit through vulnerability, which we explored in El Sol exige desnuda la plegaria.
The naked prayer.
This is that radical call to sincerity, to approaching truth and the divine, not with artifice or pretense, but with raw authenticity, finding true strength and the courage to be fully exposed and real.
And fourth, the culmination. The manifestation of Dharma in the world, navigating the eternities. That powerful final act encapsulated in Viste tus calas, camina eternidades.
Dressing in your true nature.
This is where the fruits of your transformation become your very essence, your galas, allowing you to walk through life not bound by conventional time, but fully present in the eternal now, embodying and expressing your true nature. So it's a beautifully layered, step-by-step guide to becoming truly yourself, shedding the inauthentic layers to reveal your authentic, luminous essence.
Absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, this poem and its commentary outline a path of profound transformation. Moving from external burdens to internal liberation, from a fragmented sense of self to a unified, authentic being, and ultimately to living in alignment with one's truest nature within the boundless flow of existence. It's really a journey from constraint to ultimate freedom and profound ananda.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? This deep dive into Desnudate para Vestirte really challenges us, I think, to constantly ask ourselves, what am I carrying today that I no longer truly need? Whether it's a physical possession, maybe a lingering resentment, or a limiting belief about myself or the world.
Good questions to ask.
What masks am I still wearing, perhaps even to myself, that prevent my true self from shining through? And what does it truly mean to walk through life, not just for a finite period measured by a clock, but to, walk through eternities, finding depth and meaning in every single moment?
And this raises one final important question for each of us to ponder. If,
Yeah.
as the commentary suggests in its most radical perspective, all identities and all journeys are ultimately the dream of the eternal and immutable, what then is the true purpose of all our conscious effort, of this profound process of shedding and purifying?
Yeah, what's the point if it's all a dream?
Well, perhaps the journey itself, the very act of engagement with these profound questions, the continuous process of seeking, transforming, and embodying our true nature, perhaps that is the infinite Ananda echoing from that deeper mystery. Maybe your galas are not something you consciously put on, but something that emerges organically, naturally, as you shed the layers of the inessential, reflecting your own unique, radiant essence.
Hmm.
So as you reflect on this deep dive, maybe consider which of these ways of walking eternities resonates most with you today, and how might you begin right now to cultivate the galas that truly reflect your authentic self right here in this eternal moment.